Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Steve noticed that Nikolai wasn't on the pitch today.
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I talked after the last week's schedule, which I didn't think was. I don't think it would have been fair for any team, but obviously it was us. I think it was pretty inevitable. There might have been a little bit of a injury victim from it, and unfortunately, it's Vallys. So it's not a long-term injury, but it's still a knee injury that hasn't settled down. So yeah, a frustrating one, but obviously we'll work as hard as we can with him to get him available as soon as possible and focus on the guys who are fit.
Yeah, can you give an update on the rest of the squad? Kleiber, Shaw, some of the guys?
Yeah, Sean is going to be out for a little while. So he certainly won't be available for this weekend. Shaw, we have been able to reintroduce to training this week, recovering from a heavy illness, to be honest. So we'll see about the weekend. It might come too soon, but we're trying to build his energy and his fitness levels back up. So that's going to take a bit of time, I think, as well.
Yeah, so it was mainly illness that he has to recover from.
Yeah,
that's why he's been out for the past 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just that we had so many games in so it's not maybe so much the games, it's it was the days, and like I said, it come at a bad time because we had so many games to play. But okay, he's on the mend now, and we look forward to. Actually, if he doesn't make this weekend, the international break comes at a good time for him because we can sort of reintroduce him even more then to get him back to fitness levels.
And then with Daniel being suspended for this game as well, it would be likely to see P in the starting lineup again.
It's definitely possible. I think everybody was impressed with his the game at Silkeborg and his performance levels, but also his sort of mental approach to the game. I think was impressive. And with these young guys, you give them opportunities and they have to take them. And he definitely did that. So just pleased for him and that his first start went as well as it did. And yeah, it gives us something to think about now. But we like him. We've liked him anyway. You know, I think it was only a matter of time before he was given an opportunity, and he took it. So that was good.
Can you put just some more words on P? How do you see his qualities?
Well, first and foremost, he has a very good attitude to his profession. He's a good boy in terms of his humility and his work ethic, and you know he respects his teammates and his coaches. And I think that's a good starting point for a talented young player. And then for me, it's about understanding the type of player that he is, which is a bit of an all-round midfield player, and being able to see his strengths and how he can impose them in a game. Which is, listen, he's only done it for 1 game, and you know I'm quite lucky that I can know more than a lot of people. You've got to be careful that you don't get carried away. Good experiences are really important to development, but so are bad ones as well. You know, the poor games or defeats. You know, that's how players learn and how they get better. So we have. Even if he hadn't played so well last week, we still enjoy working with him, and we are sort of excited about the progress he can make, and let's help him along the journey through the good and the bad.
How much does that occupy you? So that it seems like you also put a lot of energy into telling the young players that even though you're not hitting the level maybe you think you should hit and stuff, that they still have, you know, the faith and
100%. No, it's really important. I think that is development. You know, I think any successful or experienced player that can look back will say that there was tough times to get to where you want to get to. You don't want too many, of course, and you don't go looking for them, but it's inevitable that you have them. And I think it's really important for you know, the staff around the players to understand that. I think it's good that the club supports the young guys as much as what they do. You know, so I think however it goes for the young guys, they get, you know, brilliant support from the supporters. So yeah, it's how it is, and I think it's like I said with the young players, you need to be in every step of the journey with them, because it's all important.
And once again, you have can we call it like a double game because you played Nordsjælland very recently. do you think it's going to be a different game Sunday than what we saw
Well,
on Thursday?
I think it's obviously a different surface, and we've talked about what it's like to play on the artificial, and it's on grass. So I think that's the obvious difference. We know that we played below our standards in the cup game, and that was something that would have hurt us at the time. So I think I think we have to, for sure, play better. We need to play better than what we did the other week against them in the cup. So I think that's the first priority. It's the priority in any game is to make sure that our performance levels and how we play is at the right standard. But for sure, we have to do better than the cup game. I think also it's you're right. We're playing a team quickly, but it does happen here because obviously there's only 12 teams, and we seem to play OB pretty quickly. So it's something that I have to get a little bit used to, and obviously you need to be good at. It's not or let in the previous game against the opponent, use it in a positive way as opposed to a negative way. However, the last game might have gone. So. Like, for example, when we played the second game against OB, everyone was talking about the 5-1 and that created a challenge. The challenge this time is we didn't play so well. We didn't play very well at all against Nordsjælland in the cup game. So that sets the context to this one that we have to play a lot better.
Is there a feeling of like revenge is a strong word?
I know what you mean. Yeah. I think it's more about ourselves, to be honest. No, I understand the question, but. I think if we look at the last game, and I was quick to say it after the game, we have to look at ourselves before we looked at anybody else on why the result was what it was. So we need to do the same in the preparation for this one. Is look at ourselves to make sure that it goes better.
Have you guys talked about that it could have an impact that you're gonna not having Sydsiden in your back?
I think that. Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot because it's the atmosphere at the stadium, all around the stadium, but obviously behind the goal is a big part of what makes this club what it is and the uniqueness of it. But I think it's important that we show. This is not going to be an empty stadium. We still have three other sides, and we get great support from all around the stadium, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. But I think that we need to use not having the south side full as a motivation to show how important the fans are to us, and that we will do it for them. The guys who are in the stadium and the guys who will be supporting from around. I repeat, we get great support from all around the stadium, but we also want to show how much the fans mean to us with the guys who can't get in the stadium because of the sanction. So that has to be a motivation.
Steve, I don't know if you heard this or seen this, but Ralf Rangnick, the coach of Austria, has been out saying that Mikhail Grigoric's situation here in Brøndby is not, in his opinion, satisfying. Have you seen this, and what do you think about this?
No, I haven't seen it, and so I haven't really got an opinion on it. I understand around this time of year you have 3 international breaks, and especially when you're qualifying for tournaments, then players, domestic minutes, form, all of these things play a part into international selection and performance. So I understand then things can go hand in hand. But all I know is that Michael's working really hard. He's obviously would like to be playing more than he has been. He missed the last game through illness, which didn't come at a great time for him either. So he's had to recover this week from that to get back to somewhat full strength. So like I said, that came at bad timing. So but we are as coaches, and Ralph, and he's a lot more experienced than me, but he will know from his club football that you don't think too much about the international guys when you're trying to work the guys here to play well and win as many games for the clubs.
I was just a little bit confused about Vallys. Is he out Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you don't know for how long he will be?
No, I don't think. I think if we were playing the week after, he would be fine. Okay. I think, but he's still settling down. It's a frustrating one. As I said, it's a consequence of that schedule that I don't think should have existed. but I've said my piece on that. The schedule was built around viewers and not around supporters and players. And there you go. You know, he's picked up an injury.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Safe
Okay.
journey home.
See you.
Thank you.
Altså, vi er virkelig nødt til at